All right,
You go to your security and enable waiting room.
okay.
You see security, then enable waiting room, and it'll let everyone in then.
Oh yeah, it won't let you unclick it.
Okay.
Is that what you were saying, Valerie? New thing?
Yeah, you should be able to take it off though. But no, Mia, the reason why you have control because you still have a password. Zoom has made it that you gotta have one or two of them security measures. You either have a password, but if you turn the password off, everybody's going to the waiting room and the administrators gotta let everybody in. It's crazy. I don't know but it changed probably about a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
Well, here we go. So much to do and to say here. And Jessye, thank you for your time. Y'all, Jessye has chronic health things. And doing virtual and looking into cameras and things like that only exacerbates it. So she manages her time by doing as few things as possible. And she's got certain days that are worse than others, but she agreed to be able to do this with us. It's 9 a.m., 9:17 there where she is. She's on Pacific time over in Oregon, but she's sitting on the #1 seat in the whole state. Okay, so that's all right, girl. We okay with everything. Can I change my Zoom whole ID? Absolutely, I can do that for you. Are you kidding me? Yes, I can. Oh, good. I'm a co-host, so I'll let people in. You just do it.
Yeah, I put you as the host.
I'll let people in. Okay, and here's the security. So here is the deal. I am I'm enthused and I'm also intrigued by the way Jessye had thought this through of having her unit members bring guests into not a Zoom, y'all, but a Facebook Live as opposed. And so when we were talking about her massive production at the beginning of last, we were talking about her massive production at the beginning of last month. She had, what's our friend's name? Call you and say,
oh, Mike Strong.
Mike Strong called and said, hey, you've got the most production in for the entire Mary Kay world right now, #1 in the entire country. And she was like, oh my gosh. And so I said, now I need a rundown of this. Give me a breakdown of who has ordered. What's going on here? And one thing that she said was, I have a selling unit, she said, we sell. And I thought, okay, well, how are you doing this selling? And that's when she said, well, I do an event with them and I set it up and all of that. And this is an event that I've not ever tried before. And some of you have delved into it, but it makes so much sense the way she thought it through and has thought about it. And now she's been willing to share. She added me to her group last week. And it was so intriguing to see how she set this up. And I'd heard about what is it called? Poster party. I had heard about the poster party, but I was having so many events and doing so many things that I just did not even consider adding this to. I've just been only thinking Zoom, but with our virtual world right now, we have an opportunity to just really spread our wings even further. And it's better. And she's thought it through. And so Jessye, take it away. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I can't believe it's been a year. Can you guys believe it's been a year since COVID happened? I think my husband said to me yesterday, he said, babe, on Saturday, it'll been an entire year since we've left our house. So like, not even joking, we don't leave the house because I do have, and Wendy knows this, like she hasn't seen me in a year and we live in the same town. So because my chronic health stuff does make me super susceptible to COVID, like we just don't even take a risk on it. So we haven't left our house in a year, which is crazy. Good thing we like our house, right? So I did, I knew this COVID thing was coming. My cousin is an infectious disease doctor. And so
I'm muting everyone, Jessye. Okay, yeah. Somebody already did it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So my cousin is an infectious disease doctor. So we were watching COVID like back in December and we knew it was coming. And so on Saturday, like it'll be Saturday a year ago, she called me and she was like, you cannot leave your house. Like that was your last party, you're done. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? And so I was just kind of like, you go into like this shock mode where you're like, I have to decide if what I'm going to do. And Wendy knows too, because we talked about it. And there was like a solid week where I was just telling myself, you know what, I'm just going to ride it out. I'm it'll be fine. It'll just be a couple months. And that was like that conversation I was having with myself. And I think we like have this decision we have to make. Is like, am I going to play not to lose, or am I going to play to win? Right. And so I started having this conversation with myself. And I was like, sometimes I get just sick. Do you guys ever feel like you just get sick of your own drama? So it was like a very dramatic week of mine where I was like, oh, what are we going to do? We all felt that. Right. And so anyways, I had this conversation with myself, which is a conversation I've had a lot. And my mentor always said to me, you have to be before you can do, and then you can have, right? And this kind of thought process I was thinking is like, number one, like people really need a leader right now, right? Number two, if I don't even want to do a virtual party, how am I going to get other people to want to do a virtual party? You know what I mean? And so just spent some time really thinking about it. Just ripped off the Band-Aid. It was a hot mess when I first started doing this. And I've just spent the last year kind of being like, what works? I have not spent the last year wondering what everyone else is doing, though, to be honest with you. I've been doing the exact same thing that I was doing for the last 8 years. I just turned it into like virtual, and I've been tweaking it over the last year. And so my thought process was, okay, literally, who is the best seller? Me. Who's the best team builder? Me. So if I can do this, I can do it for everybody else, was my thought process. And I think the thing that like something that has held me back for so long with being sick is, like Mia said, I have to be very careful with my time and with my energy, and what I do, for a few, I cannot do for many. Right. And so something that I've never really been able to do is get in front of my people's people. Right. And so for me, I was like, this is an opportunity for me to get in front of my people's people and really hone in this skill, because at the time, it was mostly just me and my parties. And that was my number one focus. And, I coached people on Voxer, and we did like a guest event once a month, but being able to get in front of literally my entire unit at once has been something that's really powerful. So what I did is I essentially took the party we were already doing, and I did it on Facebook Live. And the reason I did it on Facebook Live is just like this Zoom thing. What just happened to me, it happened to my team members. At least once a week, someone's like, the password won't work. And I'm like, what? It's the same password every week. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to do it on live. And when I do it on live, I don't have to worry about so-and-so saying, I don't know what's going on, or what step are we on, or that, right? I can just go and I can keep it within 1 hour. So I do these parties on Facebook Live. I have tried the not sample thing, but I personally just feel like we sell more product when that product hits people's face, because that product sells itself. So we are doing samples. So I started out with just me doing the party, and then like this whole like virtual posting party thing came in. For a second, I did detour and I did try this, and I didn't like the results. So I came back and I merged the two. Okay. So what I am doing is I host 4 events a month. That's literally it, 4. So I do 2 ladies nights, and it's every other week. And ladies night is your first appointment. So ladies night, we do the Miracle Set 3D. We do charcoal mask on our nose, because we're going to do microdermabrasion on our face. And those are the 3 products that we demo. And what I've been teaching the girls is like, this is our first appointment, and now we're going to have follow-up appointments. So we have an opportunity now to create this really, really strong customer who's been to at least 3 events plus marketing. And not only do they have the strongest customers they've ever had, but they're recruiting more than they've ever had, or they'd ever have, because people are loving this product so much that they have to sign up. Right. So we do our ladies night, and then I'll do like a multi-masking night, which you guys know what multi-masking is, but hydrogel, charcoal mask, glycolic peel, moisture renewing gel mask. And then I'll also do a color night. And the color night's new, and I do it every other month, because I personally don't really care about selling makeup. I'm like, whatever, I could care less. I want to sell you skincare. But it's like a little carrot you can dangle to get people to come back. And then I do 2 marketing events a month. So every other Saturday, there's a marketing event. Now, what I learned is in the beginning, people are slow to kind of like jump on the train, right? So it's something that I've had to do. I've had to be consistent in it. Some events, there's been weeks where there's just a few guests. And for me, I personally, this is going to sound bad, but I don't feel like that's worth my time. So when that happens, instead of canceling, I have one of my girls who's super duper sharp. She does the party. So it's like, oh my gosh, Susan, I was just thinking, what do you think about if you did the event this week? Would that be fun for you? And they're like, oh my God, they're just like honored, right? And then they'll go get a few more guests, and then I watch, or I listen. But a lot of the times, I mean, we're seeing anywhere from about 30 to 100 people per week in this group. You do have to coach it very, very well. I'm still tweaking it. I feel like I'm still improving. I'm still getting better at it. Recently implemented because really like the big holdup for me was like, oh, we can't get leads. How are we going to play the referral game if I'm not standing over someone like, this is what we're doing? You know what I mean? Like I have to stand there for 45 minutes before I'm like,
absolutely, you're going to go through that phone, girl.
Yeah, game's still going. Anyways, you can't really do that virtually, right? Was the thought that I had, but I realized that also is a limiting belief. So I've now implemented this referral game, and they play the game during the party, and it's a contest. It's like a race to say who says done first, and they have to text the picture to their consultant. And now my new tweak I'm going to try next week is implementing a hostess program. So I have a whole new idea on that. So that's kind of like the basic outline. But Mia, do you want to like ask me what you want to know so I am sharp about what information I'm sharing? The first thing that I'll say though is pick it and stick it. So whatever you're doing, if it's already working, don't change it. Like I think the biggest, like it's like we're brand new beauty consultants again. And when I was a brand new beauty consultant, the biggest mistake I made in the beginning was like, oh, so-and-so's doing this and so-and-so's doing that. And I just I couldn't figure out what I was doing. Like you got to pick what you're doing and you got to stick it so that you are consistent and people know what you're doing. Like nobody on my team's like, oh, is Jessye having a party this Thursday? It's Thursday. We have a party every Thursday, right? So even though people that maybe necessarily don't show up all the time, or they showed up in the beginning and they kind of lost interest, they can still come back. Like random people I haven't talked to in like a year. I guess for Thursday. I'm like, yes, because they know it's going to happen.
Some consistency,
yes,
reliability, consistency, yes. Reliability. Like if they get out of Mary Kay and they come back in, they're going to still be giving away pink Cadillacs, Queen's Quarter sales, Queen's Quarter chariots. They can rely on it, right? That's a great deal of comfort there as well.
Yeah.
And longevity on your part. They're not wondering, is Jessye still a director? They're just saying, when is the doggone event? How about that?
What's the theme? Yeah.
And that's all you're wondering.
Right.
Okay. So you wanted me to ask you some things.
Yeah. I will. Can I share something real quick? Yes. Though, a thought.
Yes.
Something I want to tell you guys is my retention is higher than it's ever been in my business. And the reason why, so let me share with you thought process real quick. I would say the average beauty consultant, you got 3 months before they die. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Okay. Now listen to this. If I'm the best seller and I'm the best team builder and I can build 10 skincare customers, that person's never going to quit. They might quit, but they have 10 skincare customers that are going to be reordering for them. So they're always going to feel like they have a business. And most people sign up because they want to make a couple extra $100 here and there. They're doing it. So this retention is really, really high now too.
I love that. So what I want to know is, why did you decide on, is the reason you decided to go Facebook Live because of the Zoom issues? What was your reason to say, I'm doing this party with samples, but I'm going to do it not on Zoom. I'm going to do it Facebook Live where I don't see the people and everything, you know?
I think Zoom, number one, Zoom gives me really bad headaches, but number two, I'm kind of a control freak. And I feel like I have more control over a Facebook Live than I have over Zoom, right? Because like, there's not going to be someone's, weird uncle walking through the background or walking into the room without pants on, like we can't control that. What I can control is like right here. And I felt like, here's the thing. I personally will not show up to a Zoom if I don't feel like I want people to see my face. And so my thought process is like, how many ladies are at home and they're not going to get dressed to go on a Zoom and they're going to tell you no, versus like, it's kind of like looking, like I love looking into other people's life. It's like you get a sneak peek, but no one knows you're really getting a sneak peek, but you can comment and it can be fun, but nobody really can see what's going on. You know what I mean? And so that number one, that number two, I can control the time. And so for me, I was like, people are not going to sit on a Zoom for 2 hours. People are not going to watch a Facebook Live for 2 hours. Like, I know it's a thing because I watched once a ring bomb party for 4 hours. I don't know what is wrong with me. I could not turn that dang thing off. It was so boring and dumb, but I couldn't get away from it. But I was like, if I can keep this short and sweet and I can do exactly an hour, like I talk real fast and it is an hour. It went a little over the one you watched because I tried something new that I'm not going to do again, but it didn't work. So it's like you're always trying, like you try the new tweak until you get it down. And then once it's down, it's just like, boom, I could do that thing in my sleep, but I could also do any party in my sleep. Like I just turn my brain off and the words just come out of my mouth is what I feel like. So I feel like with the Facebook Live though, what you got to know is you got to be entertaining. Like I talk really fast. The reason I talk fast is because when you talk fast, people have to try harder to hear you. So they have to pay attention more.
That's good.
I know where I'm going. I say all sorts of weird jokes. It gets weird. Like it's me in my bathroom and I sing sometimes and like, we just have fun. So do you want me to kind of tell you what the process looks like of this group and like how it works? Okay. So I have heard, I've heard some people do like these posts. So what I did is I took Wendy Coffee. So all credit goes to her. Wendy Coffee is a saint because I was doing it before without her. And I was getting really burnt out on having to remember the content and try to come up with it. So what I have heard is you want to post 3 times a day. And the reason you want to do that is it's going to help beat that Facebook algorithm. So what I do is every single, so we rotate our weeks. So let's say the event is always on Thursday. So let's say it's ladies' night. So Sunday, I'm going to reach out to my girls. So I have a Voxer group called Virtual Voxer Events. I keep it separate from the girls who aren't working versus the girls who are working because I don't want to annoy them to death with that Voxer sound. Now, the first thing I always do too, when I meet someone, I put them on Voxer, I help them turn the notifications off.
Thank you. That's first.
Yeah, it's the most annoying thing ever. And I just say, you know, you can Vox me whenever you want because we're in all sorts of different time zones. I'll get back to you when I'm on my phone. So don't feel scared to Vox me, but if I'm not available, you won't be hearing from me. And they're like, okay. So we get in this Voxer group and this is where you have to coach the heck out of this. Like sometimes I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over, but people aren't listening. Remember, people got to hear things 8 times before they're even gonna hear you, right? So what I have done is I literally take a picture of what I expect to be in the sample packet. And I'm like, this is what you're putting in the mailer and this is what you're delivering to people. And there's a picture. And there's a script every week of how to invite people. Then it's like, hey, it's Sunday. Okay, I need you to RSVP below you and how many guests you have to be invited. I just feel like there's a place for groupies in your team and it's not where you're working. Is my thought process. So my thing is you're not invited if you don't have a guest. And people are like, can I come watch? I'm like, oh girl, you know what? Especially if they're new, you know what? If they're brand new, yes. But if they're like new and they've been around a while, girl, the rule is you have to have a guest. So who could you find that could come in? Because I'd love to have you be there. Right. And they're like, I could get my mom or whatever. I'm like, can you ask your mom? You know, I make them have a guest to be there and watch. So they're not just hanging out. Yes.
And how do you know that they have that guest? How is that confirmed? Are you just going with word and trusting them?
I guess I trust them, but I feel like there's a respect level there. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not gonna, right. Okay.
Yeah. And so then what I'll do, so this is the thing I learned. If you have a Facebook group and you hit the invite button, there's this weird limbo land in Facebook where like, let's say I invite Felicia to join the group and Felicia doesn't get a notification. So she doesn't hit accept. She's now in this like invited zone where she can't really see the group and I can't tag her. And so what we started doing, and that was annoying because the people were like, so-and-so, I need you to go delete them and resend. And I'm just like, I don't have time for this. So what we do is I say, here's the link. So after they RSVP below, I private message each person who's RSVP'd and I say, here's the link. Go ahead and click and invite, ask to join the group. And here's the script you're going to send to your guest. So they send their guest a script that's like, hey, Sarah, so excited for Thursday. Here's the link to join the group. Go ahead and let me know when you're in. Also, my director, Jessye, is going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. So go find that welcome post and say hi. And then she'll say, comments get you entries in our drawings. So Sundays when we load the group and, you know, people procrastinate, you know, there will always be the girl who Thursday, the event's at 7, it's like 6:30, she's adding guests. So you kind of got to be on top of the approving of the guests. Now I do keep the approval on because there's all sorts of random creepy dudes and creepy bots that try to join groups. And can you imagine if some creeper got in your Facebook Live and started making crazy comments and there's nothing you could do, right? So I do make sure, and if I don't know, if it doesn't say like friend of so-and-so, I will literally screenshot into the group, whose guest is this? And I'll make sure that it's really a guest that's getting into that group. So then what it is there's 3 posts a day. So the first post is just a cute pic of me saying, you know, welcome to the group. This is what to expect. We're going to have so much fun. I'm going to be doing some giveaways. So make sure you comment on the post. Comments get you entries. From there, I run Wendy Coffee's what is her party? It's like Love Your Skin or something like that. So I use her parties as my themes. And then I change a lot of the verbiage. So instead of there being like a live video for people to watch, it's the event. Like the event is Thursday night at 7. So as the girls are booking their facials, it's like, would you like a free pampering package? Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, awesome. So I have Thursday at 7. Would that work for you? And we book it just like it's an actual appointment. But then we know that not everybody's going to show up. Like some people are going to be like, oh, whatever happened. So I'm going to leave this video up for 48 hours. Okay. So there's going to be 3 posts a day leading up to the event. Every single day I go in and I pick 3 to 4 winners from people who have been commenting, and I make a big post about it. And I put a picture with their names. They win a $5 gift card to be used at the party to incentivize ordering. Right. And I do that every single day leading up. Now, the day of the party, midday, mid-afternoon, I'm going to go in and I'm going to post about 4 to 5 products that I'm going to give away. And I do supply that, and that is an expense. But I mean, if the girls are selling, I really don't care. I'm like, it's worth it. I need some tax write-offs. I haven't left my house in a year, right? So I'll go in and I'll Google on Mary Kay, and I'll find a really nice picture of the product I'm going to give away. And it'll be like, can't wait to see you all tonight. During our live, you're going to have a chance to win, and I'll list what it all is, and I'll have all the pictures plus a $25 gift card. What would you be most excited to win? So the goal is you want people commenting on these posts because you want them to boost the engagement so more people are seeing it, right? So I coach the girls, and this has been a process and still is a process. What is appropriate as far as commenting? Like in the beginning, my team members get in there and then they're all like, hi, my name is Amber, and I'm a, blah, 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 and Mary Kay. And my favorite thing about Mary Kay, and you're like, stop. So they're allowed to be a guest. So it's like, hi, my name is Amber. I was invited by Jessye. Nobody knows that they're the consultant unless they're the guest of the consultant kind of thing. So we've been working on like, what's an appropriate thing to say during a live video, especially during the marketing, not Mary Kay changed my life. You want to sign up and get a pink Cadillac with me? Like, no. So we've been working on that. But the idea is that the guests think that they are guests. So there seems that there's more participation and more people feel safe to start participating. And that's like a thing. So then what we do is when I do my party at the very beginning, I show all the products I'm going to be giving away. And I say, okay, so how you guys are going to get entries into these giveaways is by commenting. So as I feel led, I will randomly do a giveaway. You don't even know when it's coming, but I'll do a giveaway. And I turn into a baby Vanna and I'm going to spin the wheel. So what I'm doing is I'm following along on my phone. I'm on the computer, but I'm following along on the phone. And I spin the names and I land on the name, and that's how I pick the winner, right? And so that way people are participating and commenting. And something I've been coaching the girls on is if you feel like you want to say something, just send little hearts instead of saying something to my team members. I'm like, just make it really fun, right? Send me those hearts. And then I say, okay, at the end, I'm going to tell you how to get entered into a $25 gift card, but you got to stay on to the end to find out. And that is the very last thing I say is how to get entered to the gift card. And that is they fill out a Google Doc. So I have a little feedback form, and how I sell this is I say, okay, so I'm going to jump off here in just a minute and I'm going to post a form for you. And this is just to get your feedback. So even if you had super fun, you fell in love with something, you want to take it home with you today, like you'll put it there. But even if you're like, Jessye, you're the most annoying person ever, I never want to see you again. The great news is you can put that in the feedback form and you can tell me, I want to know. Right. And so I'm like, so I'm going to post that and I'm going to leave that up until tomorrow at 10 p.m. And the next morning, I'm going to announce who the winner is. So just getting entered into that does get you entered into our $25 gift card. And I want you to know whoever invited you here tonight, like they are in a contest. And every month they set a goal on how many faces they're going to see. And even if you're here, if you don't fill out the form, they don't get to count you. So like literally just imagine your consultant, just tears streaming down her face when she thinks about you. So just take a second to fill that form out. And then I'll post it and they'll tag all their guests. Like, thank you so much for joining us. Could you take a quick second to fill this out? This event, my girls do have access to the form so they can see the checkout. But I have access, so I can see if someone marks like maybe interested in a business opportunity, or if I'm like this girl was really sharp. She said she's not interested, but let's book her for a share, and I can kind of stay on top of that. But the big thing you have to coach people on is not everybody's going to fill out that form. Like I'm going to say like probably 25% of people are going to fill out that form. They're still going to buy something if you follow up with them. So that's the thing. A lot of times girls are like, well, so-and-so didn't fill out the form. I'm like, well, did you follow up with her? So like really training them. I'm almost thinking about taking the form away at some time, but really training them to check in and say, hey girl, how'd it go? How's your face feeling? What was your favorite thing you tried? What did you fall in love with that you want to take home with you? Stuff like that. But I do keep it very, very simple. And so the first thing I did back when COVID started is I went from that complicated set sheet I used to use at every party that had it had like a princess bag, a queen bag, it had all these sets. And my thought process was like, how am I going to communicate this virtually? Like I don't have time to show all these products, right? So I made a set sheet that is super simple. It has skincare and that is it. It has the miracle set and that is it. I do talk about the other skincare lines and people do purchase the other skincare lines, but my set sheet is just the miracle set. It has 3 different options with the miracle set. And then they get 1 half off item if they take home the miracle set or another set. And then we have a la carte items. So we're not giving away. I think the big thing that used to happen for me in this hole I saw is I didn't mind if I sold $400 and I gave away 100 of it. You know what I mean? But the average consultant, they mind, right? Because they're like, well, even though they sign up for a couple $100 and they made more than that, they're like, but I'm giving away my profit, right? So I was like, how can I make it so people are making more money? They might not be selling more, but they're profiting more. And so that's kind of like a shift we've done as well. And that's working awesome. So I made my own set sheet. And I have one for skincare, I have one for color, and I have one for multi-masking.
Listen, I'm trying not to be rude and eat my first.
Oh, you can eat.
This is so appropriate for several types of consultants and directors, because it can be unnerving to have people looking at you. And that, I think, is something that stops a lot of consultants from doing facials and parties in the first place.
Yeah.
And so being able to just go Facebook Live and get be able to distribute the same information. I mean, that is really using technology to the hilt. I'm kind of shy. I don't want to look at anybody. And didn't you say that Amber was like that, who's on target for her car right now?
Yeah. So I have a girl that was she's been in my unit for 6 years. She has always done the work. When I first met her, she couldn't even make eye contact with me. And so when she said she wanted to sign up for Mary Kay, I was like, oh girl, I was scared, when you're like, oh boy. Anyways, and she has been the most coachable, sweetest girl in the entire world to me for the last 6 years. And she's grown into this very confident woman. But the piece that was really missing for her was the recruiting. And now I'm able to recruit for her. And she's gaining all this confidence. Once you get a couple team members, you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I can do this. And now she has this confidence where she's just finding girls. She's on target for her car. She unlocked her second tier, her second tier over $10,000 in unit production last month. Yeah, it's amazing. And she's like, I'm submitting for DIQ. I'm doing it. And the thing is, she actually believes she's going to do it.
Did she submit?
Not yet. We're at 8. We're at 8, a few days. Yeah. And so
that's right.
Really cool. Yeah. And it's been so great for her. And it's been so great for so many people, because it's funny. I have all these girls that are little rock stars at selling, but really they're just rock stars of bringing sharp people, right? And following up. They're rock stars at following up. And I say oh my gosh, I can't wait to do a party in person. And they're like, no, what? No, I don't think I want to do that. And I'm like, really? So you have to think there's all these people that this opportunity is now opened up to, because they're like, even the girls that just sign up for a few $100, I'm like, you could just bring guests and plug them into Thursday night if you ever want to. I'll do the party for you. You can make money. They're like, yes. People that normally wouldn't want to work are still working. Even the personal use people, they're working. They're getting a few customers under their belts. And then some of these girls are getting more confident now because they've heard it a million times, like you said. I hear them talking to people, they just say what you say because they've heard it 1,000 times, right? And that's also helping them kind of gain that confidence. So Amber does her own parties. She does my party, and then she does 2 parties a week. But not everybody is going to do that. Yeah. And even back in the day, it's a lot of people are thinking about holding a party, but it's if you just hold the party and tell them to come, and all they have to do is put on their sweatpants, they're probably going to get some guests there. It's really exciting.
Now, closing and following up, all of that is coached in your Voxer group.
Yes.
And so every week, does this Voxer group change?
No, the party changes, but not the Voxer group. So they're welcome to leave if they're not working, but I leave them in because, again, like I said, I had 2 girls I can think of now that kind of disappeared for a few months, but they've been watching that Voxer group, and now they're back and they have guests.
Because what I remember you saying is that you're not going to be, they can't get into the Facebook Live unless they have guests.
Yeah. They can't participate unless they have guests, or unless they just signed up, then I'll put them in so they can see it. Yeah.
Okay. And then when do you start deleting people from that Facebook Live? Because you keep the same link and everything, right?
Yeah, I do the same group because it can be confusing trying to find the same group every time. And actually, I went live in the old group on accident one time for like 20 minutes. And then everybody's like, where are you? I was like, I don't know, people are watching. So yeah. So we had this group. So at first, when it first happened, I was like, okay, if I can get like 1,000 people in the group, it'll be amazing. But actually that kills your Facebook algorithm is what was happening. So I had this group that we were using over and over and over again. And I would leave the people in and we had like 800 people in this group. But then it got to a point where like 2-3 people were participating. It's because people weren't getting notifications because the amount of people participating versus the amount of people in the group, your percentage is off. So you have to have a high percentage of participation, right? Mm-hmm. So what I do is I started over, I created my own group. It's called Ladies Night. You know, you call it whatever you want to call it. It's called something fun and cute, right? And then what I do is I go in and I delete everyone out. It takes a while. It's annoying, but I delete everyone out and I delete all the content and then I refresh it. So I actually leave it up. So it's an every other week kind of event. I'll probably delete it the following Thursday. And I use Cinch Share. So you can use Cinch Share. You can use any of these like posting things. There's like Post My Party. I find them complicated. I did go to every single one of them and try to figure out which one was the best. And Cinch Share was the easiest for me to understand how to use. And so the cool thing is once you're linked to Cinch Share, you go in and you add that app. It keeps a history of everything you've posted and you can move that into folders. So I literally have a folder called Ladies Night. And when I go set it up, it's just like a couple clicks, tell them what time to post, and then I walk away.
Now, see, that's something that I noticed when I was in your group. I thought, you know how there's a little gray area underneath and it shows where you posted something from. Yeah. I had never heard of Send Share.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I've never heard of before. And what is your reason behind using that again?
So I don't have to post all these parties. Like I don't have to be like, oh, today I have to post this. Like I just post it and I walk away.
Okay. Yeah. I understand. It's kind of like I remember months ago when we were doing some Techno Tuesdays, one of my consultants shared with me that on Instagram, you could actually schedule posts and you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing as Send Share on Facebook.
Yeah. And you can even link it up. So you can link it to any group that you're an admin in. And so you can link it up to like your consultants. If you're helping them start like a customer page, you can put it in there. You can put it in your like your team page, your customer page, and you can schedule all your posts. It's really fantastic.
Where do we download it?
Oh, it's just a website. So there is an app. It's substantially easier to use it on the computer though. And it's just Cinch, C-I-N-C-H Share. Maybe there's an E, C-N-C-H-E. I don't know. It'll come up. It'll pop up. Cinch.
Like it's a cinch.
Yeah, like it's a cinch. Cinch Share. Yeah, and there's like a Cinch Share Facebook group too that I joined where like the creators of Cinch share like little tips on how to use the program. But it's the easiest because I tried that Visly and I tried the other stuff and I personally couldn't figure it out.
Okay. Now, how are you feeling right now? Did you just have a change in energy?
Me?
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm great. No, I'm great. I was just shifted. I'm good.
Okay. So are we good? Am I able to
keep going
right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I'm going to screen share.
Okay.
Your group.
Yes.
I think that's the best way that we can really show these postings and things like that. Who right now is like so intrigued with this? But wait, before we even go any further, the reason why I have you on this call, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. They're doing Fab Five, they're doing this, they're having results, but not these results. Not these results, Jessye. Okay. Yeah. And so the fact that the way that we've connected and the way that you've joined us and everything, I just believe that we have so many resources among our soul friends of soul. Mm-hmm. And so I'm gonna want the postings, or can that be found somewhere so that who wants to follow this and copy this cat can have these flyers. And what I'm especially intrigued also is with the way you thought about the closing sheet. Oh, I'm in groups, girl. I'm in groups. I'm in a lot of groups. And somebody just said to me, oh, I need a closing sheet. But Jessye has thought this differently. Come on, girl.
Okay. If you wait 2 seconds, I'm going to go grab a pamphlet. I'm going to show you the whole thing. Just wait 2 seconds. It's in my other office.
We got 2 seconds. We got 2 seconds. Who got 2 seconds with me? I got 2 seconds. Listen,
I got two.
I got 2. It takes 2, baby. It takes 2, baby. Come on, y'all. Me and you. Come on, everybody.
Okay.
It takes 2.
So I got this really cool idea from my girlfriend and I've tweaked it and I've worked on it and now I created my own. Okay. I will share this. Pamphlet. And there's a color one too. There's one for so ladies night, multi-masking, and then there's a makeovers one. Okay. Now there's this matching set sheet for each pamphlet too. So we got makeup, we got skincare. There's a multi-masking one too. I don't know if it's on my desk, but anyway, so what I did is I keep it all the same and I keep it simple, right? Because like a confused mind does nothing. Same with sales. This is my set sheet. Okay. I talk about the other skincare sets, but they can get a basic set, which is a cleanser and a day cream. They can get the princess set, which is the full miracle set, or they can get the queen set, which is the miracle set plus the microdermabrasion. If they take home any skincare set, they get a half off Skin Vigorate cleansing brush or a half off roll-up bag. And then I have a la carte items that I do talk about during the party. And that's gonna be like charcoal mask. Okay. Now they have a matching skincare pamphlet too. And it says like, they have a spot for their name and for you to put what time the appointment is. So anyone could use this, even if they were doing their own one-on-one facials. And that's why I didn't set like what time it normally is, right? Now, and then there's a spot for you to put love, so-and-so. They open it up and it has, and this is why I'm always afraid to share stuff like this is because I don't want legal coming after me. Okay. But I put information about the company right here, things that you would want to know that would, make you want to purchase Mary Kay product versus other products. Okay. Now I have in the center, I have the fabulous referral game. And over to the side on each pamphlet is going to have different questions, but it says things to think about. Am I happy with my current skincare routine? If I could change anything about my skin, what would it be? Am I starting to notice signs of aging? So they all have different questions themed to what we're going to be talking about. Now, the other thing I want you guys to know, and I think this is huge to why my girls sell so much, they're still pre-profiling people over the phone.
Listen, old school rules.
Yes. Yes. So what I was taught when I was taught Mary Kay 8 years ago is that if you don't call people, you are lazy. And I was like, hold the phone because it is 20, whatever year it was when I signed up and people text. So what I did is I tweaked it and I book people via text. I book people via messenger, but I still get them on the phone. So the next question is you get it booked as quickly as possible. And then you say, okay, great. Sarah, I have us down for next Thursday at 7. When's a good time for me to call you, today or tomorrow? Always 2 choices with a few quick questions for you about your skin so I can make your packet and we can be set up and ready. And that's when you're going to get on the phone and pre-sell and set expectations of what this party is going to look like. And I do not send people samples. Absolutely not. I know there are people that do that. I don't have time for that. But also the other thing is that we set expectations. Okay. So literally it goes like this. Okay, awesome, Mia. Well, I have your packet all ready to go and I'm happy to mail this to you for free. The only thing I ask Mia is if something comes up and I understand it does, I ask that we'll either number 1, reschedule, or number 2, you'll go ahead and you'll just shoot me $5 to cover the samples. Does that sound fair to you? Like, yeah, that sounds fair to me. Because now she just committed, right? And people, not everybody's going to be woman of the word, but a lot of people are, right? And I've always done that, and not asking people for money, but I've always done that when I'm confirming my appointment is I ask, is that fair to you? So I ask questions like, what do you think? Is that fair to you? So that they're communicating with you. And so that way, some people are going to steal the samples, whatever, and they're going to use them in 5 months and still order something, who cares, but that's going to help your beauty consultants not get as upset, if someone doesn't follow through. But anyways, on this back, it tells people like what to expect and how to prepare. So it says, make sure you have a quiet environment where you can relax, a washcloth and a bowl of warm water, or be near your sink. You're going to need a pen, your samples, this pamphlet. Please remove any eye makeup, wear comfy clothes, grab your favorite snack or beverage.
So you shared that you don't send samples because you don't have time for that.
Oh, I send them, but I'm not sending my team members samples. No.
Okay.
No. I Last week, there was a snowstorm. It affected a lot of the country. There was a few girls who had like 10 guests and they couldn't get their samples out. I did mail their samples. I figured out how much every single sample cost. I said, you owe me $26.50. What's your password to your pirate ship? And I shipped it from their pirate ship.
Uh-huh.
You just have to change the address to your address. But anyways, so then I did that for them. And that was a lot. I was like almost in tears. I was like, why did I agree to do this? But it was worth it. So I would not do that every week because that is too much. But I do tell them where I get my mailers and all that stuff. I teach them how to use pirate ship. I teach them all that. Now on the back, so I am using 2 ways of checking out because I found that, nobody's going to do, not everybody's going to do what you ask, right? So not everybody's going to fill out the form. Not everybody's going to text this to their beauty consultant. So that's why you got to train people to follow up. But some people will. So on the back, there's feedback for a freebie. Now, this is not my brainchild. This is someone else's brainchild that I turned it into my brainchild, if that makes any sense. I was like, this is what works for me. Now it says questions will be revealed at the end of our live session. Text a pic of your responses to your consultant, get a mascara at half off. And
That's
each
fine print.
yeah, each party, this one says you get a satin lips at half off. So there's like different reasons for them to send the pic in and to boost the sale. But question number 1 is, what did you fall in love with that you want to take home today? If the answer is OMG, and I have this, only it's big. So I made this forward to a page so the girls don't have to use so much printing, but I have a big one when I'm doing the party. And it's like, OMG, if the answer is, oh, Jessye, I want a skincare set. Yes, a skincare set. Then you're going to circle A. And if it's like, girl, I want something, but it's not a skincare set, it's something else, then you're going to circle B. And if it's like, girl, thank you for the free facial. You are so cute. I love my beauty consultant. You're going to circle C. And then question 2 is, what did you think about the business opportunity? And if you're like, OMG, this is amazing. Like I've spent more than $30 on Starbucks. It changed my waistline, not my life. Sign me up, give me a free blank, whatever you're giving away, do it now before I change my mind. B is like, B stands for bribe me. Sounds awesome. Give me a free lip gloss. Let's chat on the phone. I'm interested. C's like, girl, I love my beauty consultant. I will shop with her today. And then I have them circle that. Super easy. I'm going to add a 3rd question this week, and it's going to say question 3, yes or no. And that's where I'm going to start talking about this hostess program, and they're going to circle if they want to be a hostess.
How are you going to add that and send it out to your people?
Okay. So I was on a walk yesterday and this came to me and I'm like, I haven't quite processed it all the way, but I'm really excited about this. So I'm still romancing the bag. Like I'm still like, this is a roll-up bag. Have you ever seen it before? Like you're supposed to, old school Mary Kay, right? So what if this idea was like, what if I choose what the hostess gift is for the team and I choose what the hostess special is for the team? But my thought process is I have to pick something as a hostess gift that is not super duper expensive because I don't want the girls giving away too much profit, and it can't be limited edition or sold out. I mean, it can be limited edition if it's still available, right? So my thought is like, I'm going to try charcoal mask first. Because at this ladies' night, they're trying the charcoal mask, but it's not, you never want to put something out of a set. Like I wouldn't want someone to not get a set. I'm not doing microdermabrasion because that's going to kill their sales, right? But charcoal mask is a la carte item. So I'm like, people want a charcoal mask. So I'm going to talk about the charcoal mask and I'm going to say, how would you like to get the charcoal mask for free? Tell me below. So when you're doing a live, you have to ask lots of questions. You have to say, tell me below, send me hearts. Have you ever felt like this? Tell me below. What do you think? How long do you think Mary Kay has been in business? Tell me below. Like you got to keep people engaged or they're going to leave, right? So I'm going to say, tell me below if you would like to get a charcoal mask for free. And then we're like, let me tell you how, let me tell you how. But I'm going to talk about free charcoal masks the whole time, at least 8 times. And at the end, after they've said, I'm going to say, we want to say if we're going to buy stuff first, right? Because we might want to buy stuff and then we might hear we can get it for free. And then we're like, wait, right? That's why I always do sales, marketing, then the close, right? Because I want people to want everything and then want to sign up instead. So anyway, so then I'm going to have like a hostess credit, which I haven't figured out yet, but I'm going to do the math on it and make sure it's really fair. I'm not going to do this $25 per person you bring, because then my beauty consultant has to give away, $50+ worth of product. I don't want her doing that. It's going to be some kind of percentage, and I'm going to say what it is. And I'm not going to use the word hostess. I don't think. I'm going to say, come back with 3 friends next week. And yeah, and I think it's going to work. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it this week, but I'm like, even if you get 1 or 2 hostesses each week, that's going to keep businesses moving, right? And that's why I put in the fabulous game. Not everybody's going to play it, but I had a girl last week. She got 60 leads. She was like, 6 people sent me this. Oh my God, like, and it works better than our form, but we do the form too. Some people put the names on the form. So there's just got to be all these ways of catching things, like, so nobody falls through the cracks is my thought process.
So after this thought process and after you implementing this, ladies night and then multi-masking, ladies night, multi-masking, 4 hour-long events, a doggone month, and then 2 marketing events, a doggone month, and then every other month is a glamour event.
Yeah, but can I blow your mind? Because it's really, most of the time it's 3 events a month. A lot of times I like to take the first Thursday off just because I'm tired. And so a lot of times I'll do ladies night, multi-masking, ladies night, and they'll just blow it up. And we sell enough that I had 17 or 18 spark earners last month. I have 20 people on target for the consistency earrings right now. Because we're selling. And I do bingo.
What percentage of selling is coming from these events from your unit?
Thousands of dollars.
I mean, like what I'm saying is, are they selling any other way, or is this the way?
There's other ways. This is the primary way, but I have taught the girls how to set up customer groups, and I encourage them to post in there. So they are getting sales from their customer groups as well. We're trying to work on social media a little bit more, like what is appropriate, what is not. But primarily the sales come from the parties, and that's how it's always been with my team.
But you were out in those streets before.
Yeah.
But everyone was not doing parties, as we know. There's only a certain amount of people. I feel like the same amount of people do parties and faces consistently as people who come to meetings. Like it's only going to be the new people and those who want to move up, who are really going to be recruiting and going to be consistently holding parties. So with the virtual life, you're able to bring everybody together.
Yeah. And we recruit like crazy too. And then those girls we're finally to the place where like the girls that are like complaining about like, this isn't how I like to do Mary Kay, they're finally out. Right. And all the girls or they stayed in, or they got it together and they're fine. Right. But the girls that are coming in, they don't know any different. Like they literally think this is what a Mary Kay business is. And they're not mad about it. Like they're afraid to do it. They're like, I don't want to do an in-person party ever. And I'm like, really? You're missing out. But online, there's something to online. It's just so fun. And so, so we do these events. And then I started doing this bingo like every other month. And it's really fun. And it's like, we do get sales from it, which blows my actual mind. But there's like a bingo. I can try to find it. There's like a site where you type in and you can choose what's on the bingo card. So originally I did someone else's bingo card, but on Thursday we're doing our own bingo, and I strategically picked products that people don't really know about. So if they're already a good customer, it's like, what aren't they using? What don't they know about 2-in-1, that shave wash? Are you kidding me? Like things like that, right? I know it's like the best kept secret. It looks like it's from the 80s, but it's amazing.
Yeah, the packaging is it's the same packaging as when they did in 2020, like 21 is when that debuted, and like it's the same packaging.
But anyways, it's like those kind of products, right, that I'm talking about. And so what I do with bingo is I have some other thoughts I have for you. Okay, so let me do this one first. I have like 3 to 4 of my best girls, they get to be on, and the girls will work to earn their way. They know that they can be a model, that they can be on these groups. Like, so they'll work hard so that, they'll be like, do you have a model for this week? Like they want to be a part of it. Right. So for bingo, what we do is my new idea is I'm going to do these bingos as product launch parties. So there's a reason to bring current customers. So the girls are going to be calling the bingos, but in the middle, I'm going to do product commercials for the spring product. Right. So there's always a reason to come. And the people that came to bingo last time, they're coming again because it was so fun, and they're bringing friends, and bingo is on Zoom, just so you know.
I was wondering, is it Zoom or is it okay? It used to be Zoom because you have to show so much.
It's on Zoom. Yeah. And so I pin the 4 of us. Yeah. And then I'm like, all right, girl, what product are you going to call? And she'll be like, oh my gosh, this. And I love it. And then we'll kind of do a little chit chatter while people are finding their numbers. And it's fun. We played 4 rounds of bingo in an hour, and the girls got I mean, there was several $100s in sales, which blew my mind. I didn't think we are going to sell anything, but yeah. So my thought was I was going to share with you, I do not facial myself during the event. Like I
noticed
cannot recruit someone without makeup on. I cannot. I can warm chat you without makeup on, but I cannot recruit you without makeup on. I don't feel powerful, right? So I'm not taking this face off and trying to recruit you with a charcoal mask on my face, right? So what I started doing for multi-masking, I haven't done it for ladies' night because ladies' night, I feel like there's just so much information and I have to go so quickly that I haven't tried it yet. But for multi-masking, there's less to talk about. So I let one of the girls be the model. And so we'll Zoom ourselves into the live, or you can do a Facebook Live where you invite someone to join your screen and I'll have them mute themselves and they get to, I'm like, you just smile like you're having the best time ever, but they're putting on their charcoal mask and taking it off and putting on their peel. And I'll ask them, like, how's your face feeling? Like, oh, it's feeling really good. And, and it's fun and people love it.
So I am loving all of this. I'm so glad it's recorded because you do talk fast.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's good. It's a lean in. You do need to lean in, and that makes sense. And you've even thought that through. And somebody said she talks millennial, and I love it. She's talking my language, and I love it. Yeah. Got some questions, but I just want everyone to know who's watching right now that Jesse's last appointment on Thursday was over $1,700 and counting. $1,700 is what was earned from her unit members last Saturday. And when she said, I'm the best, Mary Kay's always told us, we're the best. Don't take yourself out of the field. You're the best recruiter. You're the best seller in your whole unit. And we've never really been able to transfer this skill as much as we can now.
Yeah.
I mean, ever. I mean, how often, are they able to see us work like this? They'd have to show up, drive to get there. You know what I'm saying? All those things, even at our meetings, weekly meetings. This is, I just want to give a shout out to the virtual life.
It's amazing.
Girl. Now, last year, Jessye, before you and your husband said you've been in the house for a whole year.
Yeah.
Where was your unit? Where was your unit last year when
Yeah. We still were number one, but we were not on target to do like 550 was going to be a stretch. Like I remember calling Wendy crying and be like, I'm not going to do $500,000. She was like, shut up. You're so annoying. Like anyone would want your unit. I was like, I'm sorry. Anyway, so Wendy will tell you that's a talk we have a lot. But anyway, so when COVID happened, I was like, now what? Like I was sick. So that beginning of that year, we moved to Salem. I got so sick. I physically could not work for 3 or 4 months. I had just picked up my starter kit. I did like a beauty event. I had just picked up January. I personally recruited like seven qualifieds. Like I was like, we're going to do quota sharing. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden this happened. And I was like, no, like, what am I going to do? I did finish quota sharing. Okay. So I did triple star. We ended with 625 and we weren't even on target for $500,000. And now we're already done with $500,000 for this year. And we had 13 qualified team members last month, 16 new, 13 qualified. I already have 4 qualified in for March. We did $32,000 in sales or wholesale. But let me tell you, and this is a whole different training. I won't get into it. Great start bundles. So we did 32,000 wholesale. That's 70,000 retail because of great start bonuses, because 13 qualified team members.
And was it extra 8,000?
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I'm just looking at you because you're just cute. You know what I mean? I like your tattoos and all that good stuff. Congratulations. They're saying congratulations over here in the chat. Congratulations on this momentum in that month.
Courtney.
One of the questions that I think does need to be answered is when you send out the samples, the pamphlet goes with it.
Yes.
Okay, the pamphlet goes with it. And so, all right, so your consultants are just emailed that and then there to make their own copies and send your own samples out and your own pamphlet.
I don't even email it. It's on the team page under files. People are like, where can I get the team page files?
That's right. Okay. So boom, it's right there under files. And then great. And then the process begins 4 or 5 days before the event. You begin to sort of like, get them together.
Pre-game.
Pregame. And I love the way during that week prior, or the 4 or 5 days prior to, I love the way you already talk about $5 giveaways. I think that really keeps them engaged as well with comments. If you comment, I'm going to pull from the comments, right? If commenting gives you entries or something like that. And I think that's great to keep things going and keep them engaged as well. I love the way the party went. So I want to show some of the parts of the party, and let them really get an understanding of it. And then I'll ask if it's been an hour already. I can't believe it, but we started late.
Yeah, lots of time.
We didn't start till like
you do want to coach. So you got to coach at first I was the one that was commenting on all the comments, and I was like in tears after 3 months. I was so tired of doing it. So I tell them, like, girls, I'm going to work my party. I want you to work your party, meaning that you're responding to your guests. I'm responding to my guests. The best hostess is always going to have the highest sales, and you're the hostess. So you work it like you're a hostess. And then during the party too, I pick 2 people to help regulate comments. And I asked people to wait till the end to answer questions, but that way, not everybody's trying to answer people's questions. Because one time I had this girl on here was like answering people's questions with false information. I was just, when you're in the live and you're watching it and you're like dying on the inside. So yeah, so we kind of have worked that kink out too. So there's still a lot of kinks, but it's getting smooth.
I mean, listen, 1,700 a week is smooth for me.
Deborah, when you just spin the comments. Like you literally just like, I'm going to scroll, and then you land on a name. You just try not to land on a consultant. And then you just
like
say,
this. You're saying like this right here. Like here are comments right here.
Your phone.
Oh, during the party, I spin my phone. But how I pick on here is I just randomly pick.
Okay. Because I watched you on Thursday night and it was super. And I kept saying, how did she spin?
Yeah, just so
here's what she does. This right here. Like this, right? You just go up and down these comments
during the party. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can see people commenting. So you would just spin through your comments and land on someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all, this is the first post, I believe. Hi, friends. Welcome to our virtual ladies night. I thought this was the video, but it's not. Welcome to our event. So this is the first thing that she does. And, she sets it up, and it's a picture of her, which will make people come back anyway, just to see you in person, really. But these are pre-party posts, and this is happening. And so and you see the cinch share right here.
Mm-hmm.
So cinch share's doing this for Jessye. She's not doing this. It's already been put into cinch share, and then that's what's sharing it to the group. So she didn't have to do all these. She didn't have to come in on 3 days prior or 3 hours prior, anything like that. It's already set up. She's showing the product during, this is the week prior, but here's the $5 gift card winners to be used at this party. And so during the 4 or 5 days, people who are commenting are able to get their name into entries, and then they're going to come. And Jessye said paparazzi. Is that what they do?
Oh, that's my lipstick. Someone asked what color.
It is. Okay. It looks darker than paparazzi.
Oh, there's a filter. Yeah. Well, my lips are really red, so it messes with a lot of the colors.
Okay. So anyway, this is the deal. This is, the way it looks and everything. One of the questions was also your pamphlet. The customers who are going to send it back don't have to mail it. It's just a screenshot and a text.
Yeah, they
take
just
a picture of it and text it back. That's the way they get it back to y'all. So I'm going to answer some of y'all's questions. Somebody wants to know, when we were talking about your units growth, what is your unit size right now?
Well, my goal for this year was to be, so here's the thing. I have earned 3 Cadillacs with 75 team members. That is not something that I'm like proud of, but I am proud of it. We're really good sellers. Okay. We're number 1 with 75 team members. Right. My goal is 150. I think we're at 143 this morning. And we were less than 100 last year. We were like about 80 when COVID happened.
Tell me about your new consultant programs. How do you get new consultants Great Start qualified? Do you do a launch party with them? Is it Zoom? Is it Facebook Live?
So I kind of cater how I'm going to treat someone based on how that welcome appointment goes, right? So what I do, and I've just tried to like dumb it down. Cause like a few years ago, I got this phone call you never want to get from Jay Benson. And he was like, hey, Jessye, calling you because I just pulled a report and it's not a good one. And I was like, good. What is it? And he said, you know, you're the only one team building on your team. You just have a team of your team. And I was like, yeah, I'm well aware of that. Thank you. Like that kind of phone call. And he was like, walk me through your process. He said, I think it's too complicated. So it wasn't that I was adding people, and they were always coming in qualified, but I was the only one doing it. So I've tried to make it easier so it's easy for other people to replicate, if that makes any sense. So literally what the process looks like is I coach the girls, like if someone signs up, it happens all the time. You remain calm and you sign them up and you say, great, Jessye will get a hold of you to schedule your welcome. And so then I would shoot them a quick text and I try to get them in within 24 to 48 hours. And I would just say, hey, Mia, it's Jessye with Mary Kay. Welcome to the team. Generally I've met this person or they've seen the video now. So the welcomes are even stronger because they know me, right? But usually I wouldn't let anyone add anyone if they didn't meet me on the phone first so we could have that connection. But now I'm just like, do it. And it's just like, hey, Mia, it's Jessye with Mary Kay. Welcome to the team. I'm so excited to get to know you. I'd love to schedule a welcome with you. What's tomorrow or the next day like? So I'm always like 24, 48 hours. And then I just send them a welcome video. It's like this little 4-minute video of me just saying, welcome to the team, like kind of talking about dreaming big and really getting them inspired. It's 4 minutes. I shoot it over. I say, let me know when you're done. I'm going to send one more video. They'll say done. I'll send the inventory video and I'll say, take notes, write down any questions that come up. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 4. And then we talk on the phone and I just ask them, you know, I take a few minutes to get to know them, ask them questions about themselves. Like, what's that? I can't remember. It's like those 4 P's where it's like purpose, passion, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, Mia, tell me about you. And then we talk and then it's like, Mia, what brings you joy? Like, tell me what makes you the happiest in life. Like, so I'm DISCing her. Right. And then I'm like, you know, tell me about a time you're super proud of yourself. Okay, tell me more about that. What made you proud? Like we have this conversation. Mia, if everything goes exactly how you want it to go, like what's your dream? What do you want your business to look like in a year? And then we talk about it. And then I just say, okay, now after watching that inventory video, what do you think is the advantage of having product versus having none? Versus being an order taking business. And we have that question. So I'm not really telling people to do anything. I'm just asking them their thoughts. And it's like, okay, after you watch that inventory video, what were you thinking? You know, and we kind of jump into that. We get that order in on the phone that day, right then. And then I send them a packet, but I don't go through the packet with them anymore. I just say, go ahead and read that packet. There's gonna be a spot for you to create a contact list. I want you to let me know when you have 50 ladies. And if you get to 50, I want to know that you have 100 or more. And then they'll get to me. And if they do it well, then we go from there. But a lot of times their launch party is Thursday night, like ladies' night. So it's like, hey, ladies' night's next Thursday. You definitely have time to mail out samples or, you know, hey, do you have people local to you on that list? What do you think about getting some girls on ladies' night? Yeah, that sounds good. You know, good. Okay, here's a script. Let's go. And I tell them don't get more than 10. And the reason I say don't get more than 10 is they can't follow up with that many people when they're new. And then they have more people to ask too, you know, like if they ask they get like, I have 45 guests, you know, you're like, oh boy. And then their whole contact list is dead in like one party, you know what I mean? They're like, I don't have any leads. You're like, yeah. So I say, let's start with 10.
Wow. I mean, listen, that was, again, you have thought it through, like, how would I be able to operate with 20 people coming in? This is what I always want to be prepared for, is more. What would happen with 20, with 25, with 30? How could I duplicate the things that I do? And so having your own video, welcome video set up is crucial.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you know, what happens if you don't get the welcome with them? They'll just join a meeting weekly. Do you have a weekly meeting?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have a weekly meeting. It's every Tuesday at 6 and it's an hour. It's exactly an hour. When we met in person, it was 2 hours, but I try to keep it short, you know, because their attention span is short. And I do the first meeting of the month. I do only recognition for an hour. They love that meeting. And then the third, I have a special guest. So it's not me. So they're not bored of me. I train them on the second and the fourth.
But you know, I guess if you don't get to have the welcome, then, which might be rare, I'm not sure. There are some people I'd never talk to again once they join my unit. Yeah.
Like there's oh yeah, no, I usually do a welcome with everybody. I get them on the phone, you know, and then, I mean, there's occasionally those people that signed up and they have no clue what they signed up for and they're not interested. It's like a 4-minute phone call. It's like, great, let me know when you want to place your first order. That minimum is $225. Have a nice day, you know? Mm-hmm. It's way nicer than that.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that. Okay. So let me get some questions here and then we'll let you, we asked about the unit size And then Wendy bragged on you and said your unit has doubled during COVID. And like you'll be at 150 in just a second. Customers get the bingo cards. How do they get those?
Oh, it's like a link. So you give people like you give your people like a script on like, this is what you send. And then you create your own bingo card and it gives you a link. And I think it was like $5 for 100 bingo cards. And I just up it each time. So everybody has a different card. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically I'm like always on top of people in my group. I'm like, today is blank. This is what we're doing. This is this, we're booking for this. We're following up with people from this. Hey, check in with your guests, make sure they've gotten their packet. They're ready to go. Like, you just have to really like work it like it's your own party.
Yeah. I'm just reading through the,
Oh yeah.
But I tell you what, we're directors. Why don't y'all just I'm going to unpin myself.
Yeah, you can ask
Why
me.
don't y'all unmute yourself? Okay. And go on ahead and ask what you'd like to ask.
Yes.
I think that would be great. And say what you'd like to say, and then we'll be able to move forward. You can unmute yourself. I think you should be able to.
Hey, Jessye, it's Courtney. Thank you for this. Thank you for explaining everything. I was one talking about you speak millennial because I'm all happy and I understand everything. Yay. My question to you is, did you create your set sheets and your pamphlets, or did somebody else do it?
I made it. So I made, believe it or not, I made this on Pic Collage.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that before.
I gave it to my husband. My husband does graphic design. So my husband made this for me, like, and I just told him what I wanted on it. And we just made this. I don't know that you need it, but it's just fun thing to have,
The
People like something that they can touch, so
yeah. And they can kind of follow along. And I feel like it makes it feel more special. Another thing, this idea I got from another girl is you can get on Amazon, you can get like a big old thing of scrunchies, like for like 400 scrunchies. I don't know. It's a lot of scrunchies for like $16. And so we bought a bunch of scrunchies and we put a scrunchie in the packet. I don't know. People love it. They're like, oh my God, thanks for the scrunchie. So that's kind of fun. So we just try to make the packet really special.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
A graphic designer husband. Wow.
Yeah.
That could not be better. Okay, come on, y'all are quiet. She's been trained for an hour and a half here. Please say something.
I have a question. Jessye, thank you. This is Lisa Carpenter. And I wanted to know, when you're doing your live, do you discuss prices right there? I know sometimes we can kind of get dinged from Facebook if we mention prices. Did you have to sign up for something to be able to talk about the prices of the items?
Well, if you're in a group, you can, if it's like a live and they're in a private group, my understanding is you can say whatever you want to say. So I do say the prices. But I'm like, I don't really like, because they have like this set sheet, right? So I don't really necessarily go over all of them, but I do say this retails for blank, oh, this skin break brush is like normally 75, you're gonna get for $37.50 tonight. Like, I do talk about that. Do you want me to give you like a little tip I learned about sales?
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you want something to sound expensive, you say dollars. And when you want it to sound like a good deal, you don't say dollars. So I'll say like, okay, and this is going to retail for $59. This is going to be $163. Like, I don't say $163, or like, this brush is normally $75. You can get on sale tonight for $37.50. And that, like, I've taught all the girls to do that too. And their sales are, it's old school Mary Kay is all it is.
I would say, I think I do remember,
yeah,
Mary Kay used to let us show the calculator with their total, and we didn't say dollars. I do remember that. Okay.
Yeah, I never say dollars.
I did have one other quick question. You said that you coach your party. I was wondering, are you telling your unit how to coach each guest that they're bringing, or how is that working with the coaching?
Yeah. So I coach the consultants like they're my guests, essentially, or like maybe no, they're not my guests, but I coach them on what they should be doing. Like, and I do have individual conversations with people as far as like following up, or it's like, oh, I had 10 guests and I didn't sell anything. Okay, well, tell me what your process looked like, and like help them find the holes, and we just like kind of fine tune it down. But I do stay in touch with everybody in that group. It's like, good morning, this is what we're focused on today. This is what we're booking for. Here's the script. And you have to post it over and over, because there's always going to be new people coming in and they don't know. Like, I'll post a picture. Today we're mailing our packets. Here's a picture of what the packets are going to look like. And so like put that in there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Joni, you have a question. Your hand's up.
Hi, Jesse. Hey, it's Joni. Thank you so much for your training. What is the meaning or the function of having a Voxer group? Your Voxer group. I missed it somewhere.
It's the Voxer group is just so I can stay in communication. So like, here's the thing. I hate when people text me, like, because it gives me a headache and I hate texting. And so like, I'll literally be like, Vox me. And I'll straight up tell them like, hey girls, in there, welcome. This is Voxer. Let's download it. Let's connect. This is how you communicate with me. So, you know, and then people send me texts like, girls, shoot me a Vox. Like, I won't even answer.
Okay, to be more specific, I was thinking, was it for your party people only? Because we do Voxer too with our National Mia. So I was just
For the guests, you mean, or?
Yeah, you're using that Voxer group just for the people that's going to participate for
just
the
for my
skincare party?
consultants, just the consultants. Yeah.
Okay.
And only those who are going to participate in the party, right? You said you don't want people getting a whole bunch of dings on Voxer plus turn your notifications off. That's B, C, and all the way to Z.
Yeah.
But people who are interested in coming, and how do you? Okay, they have to get into the group if they have a guest invited. That's the Facebook group. But who gets access to that Voxer group to get coached and stuff?
The girls that say they're participating, like, and so if someone's new, so I would never add a new consultant to that Voxer group because it's going to freak them out. And I don't actually add them to the team Voxer group right away either. I wait until I know that they're going to play, because not everybody's going to play, right? They have their 10 guests and they're ready to go. Then I add them to the group so they can hear what everyone else is hearing. But I work kind of one-on-one. I coach one-on-one until it's time to turn them into the group.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Caprice?
Thank you, Jessye. Everything's been so amazing. Have you had a chance to use Hootsuite or Facebook where you can pre-plan your post and compare it to SendShare?
I haven't used Hootsuite, but I was using Facebook to schedule my posts for a while, and it started glitching out on me. Like it would post at the wrong time, or like there was this, and it's not doing it anymore because they've changed the way that the pre-posting works. But a while ago, like you'd set it for a time and it would change it back. And just like weird stuff was happening. So I just one time told someone the party was in 4 hours when the party was in an hour, and a bunch of people didn't show up. So I don't use it anymore. Except for I use it for my own unit. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else have any questions? Okay, so next steps are the postings. You said that you got them from, I think, Miss Coffee, but can you add the postings into what can we do to get these postings and see the series of things?
Yeah, let me show you. So you just go to Wendy Coffee's Pick Collage, or are you guys in this group?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
So if you go in and you go to albums, she has an album and it is called Virtual Parties, I think it's called. Virtual Hub. And then the one I'm doing for Ladies Night is this one, Love Your Skin. And you click on the comments and all the posts are in there. So what I did is I like copied it and pasted them all into, I think I put them into the notes in my iPad. And then and I preloaded them. But if you use SendShare, I can share the folder with you. And then the only thing is you have to be really careful about sharing in SendShare, because if someone edits it, it edits all the folders. Yeah. So that's why I haven't actually shared them. Yeah. But that's where I tell everybody to get them. And so what I did is in my team page, so I want people to do their own if they want to do their own. So in my team page, I copied and pasted those all into that. I made an exact same album called Virtual Parties. And I did exactly what she did. And I posted them all in the comments so my girls have access to them as well. And there are some girls that will do the posting parties, how she set them up, and they have good results from them. Like they'll put a hostess in there. But yeah, like I did the holiday product preview. I've done the autumn beauty bash. I'm going to do the summer beauty bash when it gets a little bit warmer. I'm going to try that one.
So Wendy is, okay, DIQs, when y'all become directors, you'll be added into, you can join this group, but a lot of the graphics that you all see, what did you say the name of the group of it was?
It's like her virtual hub or virtual hangout or something. I think I just saw it when you were going. I'll tell you when I see it.
It didn't seem it didn't seem like it had all those things.
Keep going.
Okay, I thought it was above this. All right.
I'll point it out to you. Keep going. Stop. It's right there. Wendy's Working Hub. Yep. Those are the parties. And then in the comments is where all the posts are.
Oh, so underneath the pictures.
Yeah. And when we've done like, we did her holiday product preview, or like when we do the ones that are like special themes, I'm going to try this one this week. I'm going to load that one in. But I have the girls post a thank you anytime they get a purchase. Like, and they tag their person, thank you, so-and-so, I'm doing a happy dance or whatever. Like we did when retinol came out, we did a party called Retinization Nation. And I just went live and talked about all the retinol. And they post every time they get like a sale, and it helps boost like more people ordering.
This is
Listen,
incredible.
and it's
Wendy's brainchild. She's amazing for sharing that with us. I'm like, I might not have made it if it wouldn't have been for that woman making those posting parties.
you mean Wendy Coffee, Wendy?
Yeah, not this Wendy. No.
Right.
I mean, I'm important for other reasons, but not that. Not that.
There's a Sandy somebody who does a lot of Sandra
Welch?
something.
Sandy Welch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy Welch teaches on Facebook stuff. So
She's like the guru of things too. So y'all, it's out there, but we have resources within our group, and that's why I wanted to pull this resource. So, you know, now that you have heard everything, okay, Charity's got a question. This will be our last one. Charity, are you still with us? Your hand is up. No? Maybe it was a long time ago that you had your hand up. I just see it. Okay. But so these are pictures, but it doesn't really show what you put underneath it.
Oh,
like you know what I'm saying? I went in and I copied and pasted everything that you posted in order. I want to know the order, and I wanted to know what your text part is too. All of that is still, listen, if I don't have to redo that, I ain't gonna.
So it's none of it I wrote myself. I've stolen it all from her. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm not clicking on it right.
Yeah. So let me try to find it and show you too. So when you go to the Working Hub and then you click on.
Because all I see is pictures. I don't see, maybe I need to.
Yeah. So if you go in her comments, see Mia, she has like what you're supposed to say right here. And then the picture.
Are you in the hub right now? In the virtual hub?
Yeah. Click on the
pictures. Okay. Let me go back to it. I just didn't click the photos of it. I just looked at the pictures, but didn't click it. So when I click it, I'll see all the text right here.
Yeah. So click Working Hub and then click on the skin one.
Okay.
And then
here it says before skincare, that one.
Yeah. But first skincare. Yeah. Click the comments.
Oh.
And then see her post right there. She tells you what to say.
It says start here.
But you do have to edit some of them because they're set up that you have like one hostess and you're doing the party and they're just commenting and then she's going live to share some products. So like you do have to edit it a bit to make it work, whatever you're doing.
Are you mind blown, Mia? It's all freaking there. It's all there. But you do have to check. You have to check the links too, because some of the links no longer go to something or they go to something that's personal to her.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So you just have to be careful. But I do post like the day before the party, I do post my own marketing video and I say, comment below and say, you know, tell me, and maybe like 2 people will do it, but those people generally sign up. So I do put that in there. And, but when Wendy first, cause Wendy Coffee put this out, she put this out last spring and I'm gonna tell you, I was like, I'm not doing it. And it overwhelmed me. Like, I was like, oh my God. And then me and Wendy Schubel, we had a conversation. We're like, we got to figure this out. And do you remember that, Wendy? I was just like, don't even talk to me because my brain was like going to explode because I was copying and pasting those for like 6 hours or something. Do you remember that? But then we tried it and it worked. We're like, it works. And it's best of both worlds because I tried it without doing my party and I just did what she does. And you do sell and your consultants can do it and they will sell. But we sell even more when it's like the brainchild and the brainchild got married.
Yep. I love the coaching. I love the old school. I love the fact that every guest gets on the phone with their person. Okay. And that's done. This is fantastic. And now what each director can do is go to the resources and figure it out. And they can review this video again, if they need to. And okay. That's why I'm really glad it was recorded, but we appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Keep up this super bad work. We are cheering you on, y'all. Jessye's goal is 800,000. But if you're at 500,000 by February, she gonna oops up on that million, I'm telling you. And especially with this kind of growth and this kind of great start qualified. Oh, you're done with the B then, aren't you? With the big, with the new B. Are you done with that new B?
I'm close. I'm like 12 away. I will
12
finish.
away.
Yeah, this month.
Yeah.
Do you see my queen bee?
Because you were the queen, your first seminar, something crazy. What was it?
I was the queen of sharing for 2019, and it was my first time ever completing the court of sharing, and I did it with 24 qualified, exactly, over $10,000 in commissions. I was number 5 last year.
Tell me about your speech. Like, who was on stage with you?
So yeah, because we're Mary Kay National Area, so we are so bad. So Wendy is in a different seminar than me, but because my mom couldn't come and my dad couldn't come, so they allowed Wendy to come and be my mom. So Wendy was on stage with me, and then my senior Stephanie Richter, and then it was going to be Jeannie Martin, but Amy Kemp was sick. And Amy couldn't come to seminar that year. So last minute, I got Lisa Madsen, who's like one of my idols, and she didn't know that. And yeah, we got connected. So it was Lisa Madsen. And
is she in your seminar? Are you on the same seminar? Okay.
She's like one of my superheroes. And there's Nathan.
Hey, Nathan. That is a funny picture.
And it was crazy because I was like I was tracking it all year, and I didn't think I was going to finish. I was like 6 down. They took me off of On Target, and everybody's like, just finish it. I finished it. And I guess other people didn't finish it. And I was number 1.
Well, those other girls were working so great. I mean, who you had already had in, that you just had to finish it in order to just, isn't that something? Maybe not even being in the top anything, but by the time you got those last 6 qualified, it was done. Yeah. It was pretty the big B girl. Yeah. Wow. And that chair that comes down. Oh my gosh. And that was the last seminar we had. Oh. It's not going to be the last one forever, but congratulations. No. Wow. Your unit is probably, I mean, if I were in your unit, I would love it. I would love you being my director. And I often ask directors who I'm mentoring, how do your consultants feel being in your unit? Would you want to be in your own unit? And a lot of times that answer is no. I wouldn't want to be in my own unit. I don't have the information. I don't never know nothing. I'm not innovative. I'm not creating anything, and I'm not even copying the right people. And so that's where we start back from. If you were a consultant in your own unit, how would you enjoy that? And when you were in your director's unit, what did you want to happen? What things did you want to do differently? And so Wendy, Jessye, I would love being in your unit. I would be like, yeah, I'm in Jessye's unit. And that's what you want. So you remain the director whose unit you would want to be in. And that will make the biggest difference because you will be motivated by that. I want to be in my own unit. And if you're going for national, I would want to be in my own area. I would want to be a soul sister, period. I would be looking, if I were not in the soul area, I'd be like, I want to be a soul sister. I want a soul sister number. I want to do what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that is what you want to create. And so when you do that, you'll be the director you need to be. And I'm gonna leave us at that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you this long ever, and we've never talked this long ever in person. So that was wonderful.
Thank you.
I love you. Okay, thank you. Okay, send me the recording.
I will.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks. All right.